Hi there, my name is Jessica Kinzer, and I'm currently a student on SPC, and today I will be doing a presentation on a project proposal I have been working on for LA Fitness. All right, if you look on your screen, I have pulled up to the PowerPoint in which I will be presenting to you today. Okay, like I said, the project proposal that I am working with today is going to be on LA Fitness, and I am proposing to them on how to decrease their employee turnover rate. This presentation is attention to Shannon and Natalie, who are the operations manager and the district operations manager of the club and the local area in which I did a lot of my work and interviewing with. LA Fitness was founded in 1984 in Los Angeles, California. They currently have 800 clubs across the US and Canada. They have been facing a high employee turnover rate for quite some time now. It has been an ongoing issue, and this includes both the operations and the sales employees. Current situation is they have a high employee turnover rate. Employees need to be paid better, minimize micromanaging, and more hour opportunities for operations employees. The key success factors on how to get this proposal to be successful is going to first start with the budget. Currently, they determine the club's hours for the employees based on EFT and gross profit. EFT is also known as a clear up, which is when a member's billing gets declined. We have to call them to try and get a new billing on file in order to get that payment processed and to go through. Gross profit can consist of anything from key tags to paid in full memberships to guest passes for the day, kids clubs memberships for the day. Anything that brings in gross profit for the club can be considered under this. Now, we have 1 month to hit our goal for EFT and gross profit. So currently, the club that I worked with in Largo, their EFT goal is $150 per month, and their gross profit was about $2,300. So they have 1 month in order to hit this goal so that their employees can get additional hours for the following month. They get what's called variable hours, and which is about 10 extra hours a week for their employees to work. But in order for them to get these extra hours, they have to meet the goal, and then they have to sustain it for the following month if they want to keep those variable hours. Those hours are based off a monthly basis. So they have 1 month to complete and to reach goal every month to determine if they will get variable hours for the following month. In order to get my proposal approved, I'm going to start locally with Shannon, who is the operations manager at the Largo Club. Once she approves this proposal and has reviewed it, then I will present it to Natalie, who is the district operations manager, who is also Shannon's manager. And then I plan to work my way up the command and keep presenting my proposal until it is able to be implemented. Currently, employees get paid minimum wage plus commission for the clear-ups and paid in full and gross profit that they bring in. So depending on what state they work in, depends on their flat hourly rate which they make. Now, for every EFT, they do get $5 in commission, and for any paid in full memberships that they are able to renew, they get 0.22% commission. And the same thing goes with miscellaneous growth. Anything that brings the club in an overall gross profit, they get 0.22% on. And then for the EFTs, anytime they're able to get that billing information to go through that was previously declined, they're able to get $5 commission on top of their hourly pay. Additionally, a key success factor is that they have to staff their clubs appropriately. Currently, they are always struggling with an understaffed club. How they determine on how the club is staffed determines on how many check-ins they have. They have to meet a certain number of check-ins per day. However, the number of check-ins that they currently have to reach a day is ridiculous. The number is so high and is not in ratio with how it should be. I say during the peak hours of 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the morning and then 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the evening, these are the club's peak hours. And this is when it is most important for them to at least have 2 operations employees working the front desk at all times during those peak hours. Currently, they only have 1 employee doing that, and that employee is responsible for calling members to update their billing, renewing paid in full memberships, answering the phones, checking in members, getting potential new members set up with sales counselors. Anything that walks through that door, those employees, those operations employees are responsible for, and it's not fair to have all of that on one person, especially during their peak hours. Now, as I was just talking about trying to staff appropriately, this goes hand in hand with needing to delegate tasks equally and appropriately between the operations and sales employees. Currently, I just list everything that operations employees is responsible for. They have a huge list of things. The sales employees, all they have to do is sell memberships, which I know a sales job is hard. It's never as easy as it sounds, but many times the operations employees are working their butts off, and the sales employees are kind of just sitting there waiting for somebody to walk through the door who's interested in a membership. They, right now at LA Fitness, keep operations and sales departments very separate, and I discourage that. I think that they should work together as a team. They all want to help each other out. They're all working for the same club, and that they are all trying to reach goals. So they should delegate their tasks equally and appropriately between the 2 departments. You know, when one department is slow and one is jammed up, they should help each other. This will also be better for the club because the club members won't be standing out the door in a line waiting to get checked in, which of course that is not good for business. Currently, I already kind of talked about, I touched over how operations employees make a lot of their money and the bulk of their income. Like I said, they are all paid a flat hourly wage, and then they make additional income from the EFT and ClearUp calls and paid in full memberships, in which they're able to receive and get. Now, they do make, if you want to make money, of course, the bulk way to make your money is going to be in commission through your EFT, ClearUp calls, and your paid in full memberships. The problem with this, though, of course, is the employees want to make money, so they call the members constantly. These members are always harassed and overcalled, and this is one of the biggest complaints that members give to LA Fitness, is how when their billing doesn't go through or that their membership is getting time to be renewed, that they are called and harassed constantly. To the left over here, I made a little pie chart kind of explaining how operations employees' paycheck is determined. So as you can see, the bulk of it is going to be through those EFT payments that we need to try and get those clear-ups to get those payments to go through. Next is going to be for those paid in full memberships that we are able to be renewed. Miscellaneous gross, and then lastly, hourly pay makes up the smallest part of our paycheck. Okay, so how is this going to be implemented? My strategic option. First, you've got to increase the operations employees' base pay. Get away from that commission. Do it just on a base pay. I suggest starting for Florida. Our minimum wage currently is $8.05 an hour. I suggest paying operations employees a flat rate of $9.50 and doing away with all of the commission. Have a billing department be responsible for making those calls, those EFT and PIF calls. This way, the operations employees, they can just focus on what's at the local club, what's going on, checking in members, you know, talking to potential new members, answering those phones for those members who are calling who have questions, anything that can be of help, anything locally, that's what those operations employees should be responsible for. Billing should handle the rest. This would make the club members much happier. They will be much more satisfied. They won't be getting called constantly from different areas all around, different phone numbers, different area codes from different states at all times. This is not fair to the members. Also, as I touched on, they should have 2 operations employees working the front desk during their peak hours. It's very important to keep things running smoothly, effectively, and efficiently for the club. Clubs can make local PIF and EFT calls when they do have downtime to only their local members, though. Only make calls to those local members that you see and deal with on a daily basis. This way they will trust you when they give you their card information over the phone, because many times the members are very leery about this because they don't know where that card number can also go to. Also, it is very important that you make sure that they are paying their employees to get paid for their entire shift work. Currently, LA Fitness does not do this. They do not pay their employees to get to the club before it opens. So here's an example. The club opens at 5 o'clock Monday through Friday. An employee doesn't get paid until 5 o'clock. No matter what time they get there and clock in, they do not start getting paid until 5 o'clock. And of course, you always have to get there a couple minutes early before business opens to turn on those lights, get your computer started, make sure everything from that previous workday is cleaned up and everything is nice and tidy. Make sure those phones are on. Everything is basically perfect. And LA Fitness does not believe in doing so. So I definitely would encourage them paying their employees 15 minutes prior to the club opening so that the employees can get everything prepped for that day. And same thing for those closers. Have them stay 15 minutes after to make sure that the club is completely cleared out. Make sure all the weights are re-racked and that everything is back in their place. This next slide is going to cover the benefits and risks of implementing this proposal that I have. Benefits: you are going to decrease the employee turnover rate. They're going to be making more money, which of course is everybody's number one concern. They're going to be more happy with their job because they won't be as stressed. They'll be able to delegate the tasks and they won't have to worry about making those PIF calls in order to determine their salary. Also, this will be beneficial to not only the employees, but the company, because they won't have to invest as much time and money hiring and training new employees constantly. They have such a high turnover rate that they're always looking for new employees, trying to train them. As soon as they train them and the employee kind of understands and gets the feel for the job, they're quitting because they realize how much they're responsible for and how stressed out they are and how astronomical these goals are to hit in order to get variable hours for the following month. Also, this is beneficial for the members because they won't get so frustrated with these high call volumes that they are constantly getting. And lastly, as I said, delegating those tasks is very important. Now, of course, with any business proposal, there are always going to be a couple of risks, although I only found 2, really. Potential profit loss, which will be very minimal, and that will only be during that initial change period. I do suggest implementing this change at once. This way it is standard for the entire company. This will make it the most fair to the employees and the members and to the company. Also, they would need to hire and train a larger staff since they will be having 2 employees work the front desk during those peak hours. But something for that could be to have a job fair where they would be able to do this. They would be able to hire, train, and interview with people at once in kind of a group setting. This would help save capital for the company. And finally, my final recommendation and call to action. First, increase employee pay. Next, we need to pay employees for their full shifts. We need to delegate the tasks and the workload that is currently part of the operations employees' work. They need to reduce the amount of EFT calls, and if they're going to keep doing that, the club should only be calling their local members. And lastly, allow appropriate staffing for the various club sizes. And this last slide, I have just highlighted my references where I have gained all of my information today. I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to my project and my presentation, and I hope you have enjoyed it.